Good morning. Today I want to go over a document that I created to help my students improve their LinkedIn profiles in 1 hour. So this document was designed initially to assist students or professionals at any level. I think it's applicable to improve your LinkedIn profile in 1 hour. And the reason why the focus is in 1 hour is that people are busy, or I think sometimes they need to measure the amount of time they spend committed to something before they see if it works. So the idea around the suggestions I'm going to make here are that these suggestions have the most impact for the amount of time spent. And I would say one thing to remember is that with a 1 hour makeover of your profile, you do want to be careful around what you update, how you update it, what type of information you do put, just because a lot of this stuff takes time no matter what, and consistency, and also just using the social media and understanding how to use it efficiently. So with all that taken into consideration, let's get started. The top priority for your LinkedIn profile, if you're going to be starting an update in 1 hour, is crafting a headline that attracts, whether it's recruiters in some instance, or just interest in your profile for the area and topic that you want your next opportunity in. So you want to take about 20 minutes and really think about crafting a headline, be professional, looking for the ideal opportunity, or something specific around maybe a completed piece of training that now leads to an opportunity. Take some time, take 20 minutes, really think about crafting a headline that is going to attract people to your profile. Now within the headline, it's also ideal that you have the title or role of the position that you want. This is important because not only can people associate this title and position with you, but also it becomes searchable. So you want to think about the headline being almost like a video title on YouTube or the title of a document. It's going to be the most rich in terms of keywords and how people are going to find you on LinkedIn. So with doing this, some recommendations are draft maybe 3 or 4 examples. You can utilize AI to help manipulate those examples and develop them further and try to get them more refined. But definitely want to draft out 3 or 4 examples. One could be if you're seeking a new position, one could be playing upon your current existing positions, highlights or skill set, but make sure that you have a position that you either are aspiring to, a title of a position that you have that can help attract people to you, but ultimately you're selling yourself within the headline. And I would also recommend looking at others' headlines in your field for examples and ideas, as that can greatly help you get some ideas, get up and going, and get started for yourself. But take 20 minutes to do that. So the next 20 minutes that I would ask you to focus your energy into. So the topics that I would ask you to focus your next 20 minutes on when updating your LinkedIn profile, you're going to want to focus in 20 minutes on your profile photo, your banner. You're going to want to take 20 minutes to focus solely on your profile photo and your banner together. Now, of course, your profile photo should be, if possible, a professional level photo. If it's not a professional headshot, or you don't have access to the resources for a professional headshot, try to get a nice photo with some nice daylighting, balanced, not too dark, not overexposed. You can utilize a tool like removebg.com, to remove the background and place a color in the background to make it look more professional. There's a lot of new tools out there that will remove the background and help you have a more professional looking profile photo by neutralizing background distractions. You can also do that in Canva, but at the end of the day, you want it to be professional. Not like your traditional maybe social media profile, in which part of a personal profile. You want it where people can see you, think about you as a professional. how are you going to present yourself as a professional? The next piece is the banner. Now, I feel like the banner is one of the more complicated pieces of an upgrade to a LinkedIn profile, in that I think it's very easy to go too far with banner design as opposed to just keeping it simple. I think some people do a really good job of keeping it simple and effective, and some people go a little too far and it can become distracting. I think with a banner, you do want something that hints at your field, like technology, or if it's another area, maybe it's human resources. But I would err on the side of simplicity. One recommendation here is, first, look at other people's banners and look at the number of elements on the banner. Do they have their names? Do they have text or a name of a business or their own business on the banner? How is it formatted? What are the colors that are being used? I would first do a little bit of research in that area. Look at the banners, pick 2 or 3 of your favorites, understand why you like them. Is it because of a professional? Is it because they're professional? Is it because they're nice looking, you like the colors? Then write those notes down and then go into Canva.com and look under the templates for LinkedIn banners. Now look at LinkedIn banner templates and see if you can find a template which matches some of the same features that you found that you liked in those examples. Then identify those templates and see if you can begin crafting with those templates. You want to see if you can then recreate a similar banner, something that's for you and your personal needs. Now, always err on the side of simplicity. Don't add too many layers. Don't add too many distractions, as sometimes the banner can become a distraction from the content on your page. At the end of the day, including maybe a personal branding website, your name, potentially a slogan related to personal branding for yourself. You can keep it simple with nice colors. Ideally, it will complement anything in your profile photo. So if you used a light purple background in your profile photo, does that work with your banner? Don't pick clashing colors. Don't pick things that are going to clash together. And stylistically, they look the same. You want to bring them together. I would say less is definitely more with the banner. That's a piece that you can develop over time. But in 20 minutes, you can do something very quick, simple, and effective. And that's why it's one of the most effective things you can update quickly. The third area that you're going to want to spend 20 minutes in is the About section. So for all of the sections up to now, you could have spent 0 to 10 minutes, 0 to 20 minutes. I think potentially you may have had a section done, may have taken you less time. I think the About section is a very good place that if you're going to spend a quality amount of time, maybe the total 20 minutes, focus on an area, this is where you're going to get the most bang for your buck in terms of time, in terms of people understanding who you are, and impact on understanding who you are, and ultimately impact on your profile. This is where you're going to write about your experience, about your message. It's basically a chance to have an About page around you. You need to remember that the About section is all about how you're explaining to anyone who visits your profile what your current experiences are, what potential you might be looking for, your status as a learner, your status as a job seeker, your past experiences which really lend to your future experiences. That's what you want to put in this area. And you want to craft this in a way that is professional. It's almost as if the About section on a personal website. And you may have a personal website. So this is a place where you can begin to utilize some of that text if you have a personal website. Most people don't always have a personal website, so you want to think about the LinkedIn profile as your personal website. You also want to remember that your LinkedIn profile can be a downloadable PDF resume. And some people might actually download your profile and use it as a resume. And you can if you want to. So this About section becomes the top section of your resume. So you want to think about the impact that has. And I also want to think about duplicating efforts. If you have a website, you have your LinkedIn profile, and then you have your resume, a lot of the writing that can be about you in a 1 to 2 paragraph description about where you are in your career and what you're really focused on achieving next, an objective or multiple objectives that are explain your experience and why those next steps are what you're looking for or what you're all about, is important, is that you can use it across different platforms. So you can use it on a website, you can use it on a digital portfolio, you can use it on your LinkedIn profile. So really, or sections of it on other social media. So this is another place where it's keyword friendly. I would recommend, if you haven't done a lot of work on your about section, you're just trying to get it started, that you focus on just getting a rough 1 paragraph done and then go from there. This is another one where you can look at other people's examples at the same stage of their careers as you are and think about what do they have that you like. You could even take another person's profile description, put it into an AI tool like ChatGPT and say, please rewrite this for me based on these 3 or 4 bullet points that are about me. So you could take the profile, pop it in there and say, please rewrite this about section for me with your name, and say, but take into account the fact I completed a CompTIA certification, or I got an additional bachelor's degree, or I got a project management certification to add to the profile. Once you have that, you can then edit and refine that to your needs. That's just a suggestion to get started. But once again, looking at others prior is really super important. What you like, what you don't like, what you think is effective is probably sometimes what other people find effective. So everything from here on out is considered what a mid priority. It's not that it's not a super priority and important, but it's just in terms of time, these may be things that are additional time for you to spend refining and improving the profile. So these are the other nitty-gritty details that are essentially just as important, those other parts that I talked about, but you need to realize, if you're looking at it in terms of spending an hour and then spending an hour maybe on something else, that first hour should go into those other items that I just spoke about. Now we're moving into mid-priority. These are things that generally you sometimes might have trouble remembering when you're just sitting down and working on a profile for the first time. So if you're in that stage, this is more of a checklist. You might want to sit down and go through some of these prior to even getting on LinkedIn, or do your own research related to it, just so that you have a little bit of a framework. So let's start going through these things. And remember, these are designed to boost your credibility and boost your appearance based on topics that you're choosing. So the first would be projects and experiences. Basically, these are what you've been working on, types of projects you've been working on, the content area you've been working within, also experiences at current positions, filling out jobs that you've worked at or other positions that you've been doing work at, freelance work, project work. All of that starts to add up. So you're going to want to put that into a sequential order for yourself, just like you would a resume. Outline it. Maybe you could do a job section on a piece of paper, or I would actually suggest just doing it on the computer. Have maybe a job section just like you would on a resume, a project section just like you would on a resume, and start to describe these things so that you can effectively have an outline. Now, another part that people kind of miss while doing this is that many of these jobs and projects involve tools, software, additional skills. As you start to outline these projects and jobs, you also want to outline the skills, the outcomes, the measurements, all align with these projects, jobs, and opportunities you had. These skills and opportunities, not only can they be embedded within the descriptions of these jobs so they can help promote that experience, but you can also list them additionally in the technical skills area of your LinkedIn profile. So you want to start making this projects list, jobs list, put it into sequence, put the dates down, and then also the skills and tools and outcomes associated with them. After you've taken that step, let's say that's an hour and a half. We're now in the second hour if we were to keep going past the first hour. Third step to having the Dynamite profile, which has all the moving parts together. And you definitely notice these profiles because they're the ones who are going to appear higher in the search engines, get more views by recruiters or other people looking to find people to help work for them. And also connections are going to connect with you more often if they find similar items in their profile as yours. Is certifications. So any type of certification in your field, whether it's IT or another topical area related to your subject. In IT, this could be CompTIA, this could be Cisco, this could be any certification. So you just want to make sure that if you have a certification, you've been working on one, you have it. So if I were to make a quick to-do list to complete this video, here's what you need to be focused on. First, add 10 to 15 relevant skills to your profile that align with not only your past experience, but also the experiences that you're working on in projects and also what you're aspiring to work within. This could be troubleshooting, this could be an IT Active Directory, or a skill related to a certification or a knowledge area. Take a look at the featured section. Are there updates that you could make? Is there something you could share? Here you can pin updates to your resume, certifications, experiences you had going to a boot camp, or another learning experience that helps shape you as a person. Courses and projects. Are you currently taking courses? Are you in a degree program or taking individual skill courses? Are you taking a course on LinkedIn? Are you taking a Udemy course? Are you choosing courses to help expand your knowledge? You want to include that here.